Angelene, I am so happy to have you here today and, just sharing a little bit about your experience. But before we get into that, I would love for you to introduce yourself.
Sure. My name's Angelene Langsley, and I am a UX designer. I recently relocated from Chicago to Cincinnati. I've been mostly freelancing for the past 8 years, and I'm currently, looking to get out of my home office and into a full-time job here in Cincinnati. So
Wonderful.
that's my story.
Yes. And we started working together a few months ago. Can you tell us where you were at then and what really brought us to work together?
Sure. I had actually met Kristen, you at through an online community. And so it was almost serendipitous, I would say, that I was moving to Cincinnati and I was looking for people to connect with. And, not just for, a job, but for friendship and, build a community in this new space that I was going to be in. So I connected with you and thought we had a lot in common, and ended up just being a perfect time in my life where I was kind of, ready for something new. I was not very happy where I was at that point. And, started listening to what you were doing online and consuming some of your free content, and just got really excited about the chance to, do something new. So
I love that. I still remember when you sent me that message and it was like a soul sister. And I'm like, I got a friend coming to Cincinnati. And so you had been in your job for a long time, right? Like 10 years?
10 years. Yeah, 10 years.
Yeah. And so I would imagine just the thought of even having to look for a job must have been scary.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that was one of the biggest things for me, was that I was scared. Like, I didn't have a lot of confidence. I hate networking. I do a lot of it now, but
you hate networking. Like, can you tell us about networking events like the one we were out this morning?
I know it's not that I hate it. I shouldn't use the word hate. It's a very scary thing for me. I'm an introvert, and it is very hard for me to get out there and go to those events. But so when we met, I would say that I didn't really know where to start. Like, I hadn't done this in 10 years. I hadn't even applied for any jobs. I hadn't updated my resume. And I wasn't quite sure where to start even.
Yeah. And so tell us where you are now. So you were in a job for 10 years. It was time for a change, but you weren't sure where to start. Hadn't even updated your resume. And then where are you now?
So I am in the process of applying and interviewing for jobs. I would say one of my biggest successes was, I was doing the work, doing the networking, and meeting a lot of people, and it was getting easier to talk to people, and find commonalities, because I'm so interested in what I'm trying to do, and so when I had applied for an apprenticeship at an agency here, and it's a pretty well-known agency, and I was really excited about it, and I went in for the interview, and it was a panel interview, so there's 5 people there, and I knew 4 out of the 5 people.
Yes.
And so
why? Tell us why. Because remember, you moved here, you didn't know anyone, and yet you're at this super prestigious place having this interview. You walk in, you know most of the people. Why was that the case?
Because I had met them at networking events.
You did the work.
Yeah, I did the work. And I even last night I was at a happy hour, and they were like, "You go to everything." I was like, "I do." So But yeah, it made everything so much more comfortable. Like I was really nervous before I went in there. I hadn't interviewed for anything in 10 years. And I was able to present my portfolio. You know, I had to get up in front of them and present my portfolio and my work and talk about it. And I just felt comfortable because I already was connected with those people and I knew them. And even throughout the process, you know, I was able to, I think, ask questions from them. And I even asked for feedback from them, and they were very complimentary and everything. And so, like, I felt comfortable asking those questions, and where it might not have if I had walked into a room full of 5 people that I didn't know.
Yeah.
So.
Like, you're not even saying the big thing. You landed this.
Oh yeah, I did. I did get the apprenticeship.
You've never been good at bragging on yourself. You're getting a lot better, but like that's a key component of it. You landed this super competitive. Everybody wants in on this. Do you agree? Like this particular startup and this particular company, like it's huge.
Yeah, definitely.
So pat yourself on the back there. Very good. Any other big ahas or anything that you got from our time working together? Of course, being able to talk about yourself, the whole interview process, anything else?
I think, you know, the other thing was what we had kind of said in the beginning that I was looking for was clarity. You know, I have a background where I've done quite a bit of work since I've worked with small businesses and startups. So if they needed someone to do email marketing, I would do it. If they, you know, needed someone to do SEO, I would do it. And so I've got kind of this wide range of skills, and I wasn't really sure how that would fit in and if I wanted to continue doing that. And, you know, it wasn't that you sat down and said, here's what you should do, Angelene, but you helped me figure out what I wanted to do and where I want to be right now. So that was definitely very, very helpful.
Beautiful. I love it. And yeah, I'm never going to tell you what to do. That is not a recipe for success, especially for those of us that are rebels, right? You gotta do it on your own. And then my last question, what would you say or what advice would you give to anyone that is considering career coaching?
So I would say, you know, I consider myself a do-it-yourselfer, and like I was a little apprehensive at first because I was like, oh, why would I do this with someone else when I'm sure I can learn it myself? I can figure it out. Like I can read books and read online articles. And I could have gone that way, but I don't think I would have gotten as far as I did as quickly, nor had as much confidence as I feel like I have now. So that was like one of the big things for me, was to be able to kind of work through that imposter syndrome and be able to tell my story and confidently talk to people about who I am. And so I think that was one of the big things that I got out of coaching. And I think there was something else. Yeah, I mean, I think the confidence was a big thing, and being able to, like, I felt fully supported throughout the process. So, you know, even if there was something small where I was like, hey, I'm not sure, you know, how to handle this situation, or what type of response would be appropriate here, and kind of working through some of those smaller things, little daily things of just like maybe even just getting a little bit more supportive, like, hey, you probably know what the answer is, and maybe think about this. So that was really great to feel supported the whole time.
And I still support you. I'm your cheerleader. I'm not your girl. I hope you know that.
Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And if people want to learn more about you and your work, you've got a lot of great skills. You've got an entire portfolio. Where can they find you?
My website is angelenedesigns.com.
Now, how do you spell Angelene in case?
It's Angelene.
And then designs.com. Beautiful.
Yep.
Thank you so much. and I will talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Thanks.